Hi, this is trepacer, and welcome to my review of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Episode 20. I think it's called, let's see what it's called, Nothing Personal. Okay, this episode begins, with Maria Hill. Walking down the street, you see her observing the homeless guy and the yuppie supposed to be checking her phone, and the hipster guy following her. And she's basically talking into her phone, saying how she can tell that that the government's following her now that she's working for Stark, and it's really bad and kind of insulting that they're, and then all of a sudden they're gone, taken out, and then of course you see Agent May, who basically gives her the update about how she walked away from Fury and stuff, and then all of a sudden you see, and then they go through that spiel and stuff, and she talks about how she's trying to find out who's behind that now that Coulson knows about Project Tahiti and stuff, and she's trying to find out who did it, who was in charge. Okay, so now, of course, then some agents rush upon her, but Agent May manages to escape. Okay, and now we follow back to Coulson, Fitz, and Simmons, and what's his name? The other agent, not Garrett. I'm drawing a blank on the black agent's name. Hold on for a minute. I'm drawing a name on the black agent's name. Hold on. I remember. Let me look real quick. I'll give you it. I forgot his name. The guy that was with Gary. Trip. I'm calling Triplet. I think it's Triplet, right? But we'll go with Triplet. I think we'll call him Trip. Anyway, they go to the bunker and basically trying to find out, what's going on while the plane's not here. You're looking around, and again, Fitz is giving Trip some lip, more lip. They're trying to figure out who's here and why it's there. Then Simmons decides let's get some pancakes, and Fitz decides that he can go fix the communications because they notice that all the communications is wiped out, and the only thing that he can see is Ward, not Ward, Agent May leaving. Okay, and then later they see Sky and Ward leaving. Okay, that's the only thing they see on that one camera. Every other communication's been damaged in there. So while Fitz is looking around, and stuff, he discovers I think he sees like a knife stuck in one of these screens, and he lifts it out of there, and then it rises up. I think the little flat screen, and says Ward is Hydra. Okay, da. Okay, so now they know that he's Hydra. Okay, now you see Sky and Ward went to Los Angeles. Actually, they go back to the same restaurant in LA where Sky met Mike Peterson. Okay, and I think they would go there because she said they have to be in this particular spot for her to encrypt the hard drive, which is what Ward wants for Garrett. And she said, it takes time. And they're sitting there talking, having conversations, and she's playing it cool at first, okay, and then she starts getting personal with him and basically tells him that, what was it like to shoot Garrett in the back, somebody that you trusted, what was it like to shoot a stinking traitor, and basically she's basically calling him, right, and he's basically trying to tell her to be quiet, because there's cops in there at the counter, but then, she flips the thing and tells him, listen, the reason they're here is because I told them about you, and then she turns the monitor, the laptop towards him, and it says fugitive. Okay, so all the cops are there. Anyway, let's flip back to the bunker. Okay, of course, at first, Fitz is not believing that. Oh yeah, I forgot. Simmons finds what's his name's body. I forgot the agent that was there. That I forgot what his name was. Played by the comedian. He finds his body. Okay, of course, which causes her to scream. Okay, and at the same time that Fitz finds, the message from Sky, the Sky left that Ward is Hydra. Okay, and of course, Fitz is in total denial, and even Triplet says, yeah, it kind of makes sense, and he kind of tries to shut him down. Okay, and I wish the guy Triplet would just strangle Fitz because he's really being a dick. Okay, and and Coulson is trying to say, calm down, we'll take one step at a time, and has Simmons do an autopsy on, the dead agent. And she discovers that, yeah, he was strangled to death by the wire, and in the motion that was strangled, had to be a guy that was at least 6'2", which is what, of course, Agent Ward's size is. So obviously he was the one that killed him. And so now they got to find, go out and look and try to find, S.H.I.E.L.D. and Ward, find out where they took the plane. And then at this time, of course, Talbot, General Talbot, who comes in, played by Adrian Pastor, I think that's his name. He comes in, with his men, and of course he says they're not going nowhere. We need some intelligence and stuff. And you're not going anywhere. He said, listen, we got to find our plane. And she said, and he said, how did you find us? This is secure facility. How do you find us? And then that's when Agent Maria Hill comes in. She said, I told him. Okay, and then she comes in. Okay, and then after the commercial, they come back, and Coulson is basically telling them, listen, we got to do this. She's saying, basically telling them, listen, give it up. You got S.H.I.E.L.D. is over. She's not telling him that, what's called is still alive. Fury's dead. She's still telling him that the lie, even though he really knows that Fury's still alive because of what the agent, Peyton Oswald, I was calling Peyton Oswald, that was his name anyway, his real life name. Peyton Oswald told him that, Fury was still alive. So he knows that, even though Maria Hill keeps denying it. And basically she's telling him, just give it up and, give them some fake intelligence that'll, satisfy them, and they'll let you go eventually. And then he basically tells her that, listen, Ward is Hydra, and we got to go find the plane. They have this encrypted file that we got to get back. So she said, okay. So then she flips the script, and then they turn on Talbot and beat the crap out of him. Okay, which of course is totally unbelievable, but we'll go with it for the sake of the show. Okay, so then they make their way, and then they start tracking. They can track now where S.H.I.E.L.D. and Ward are, and then meanwhile back to S.H.I.E.L.D. and Ward. Okay, now that S.H.I.E.L.D. has told the cops, sent out that alert, so all the cops are there looking, to arrest Ward because he's a fugitive, and then he starts fighting. He starts fighting with them, starts fighting with the cops, and so S.H.I.E.L.D. tries to make her escape, of course, and then there's two more cops outside. She tries to give herself up, says she's a fugitive. And then the cops say, well, what's going on? And then she even slaps them so they can handcuff her, and they put her on a thing, and then of course Ward comes out and starts, he shoots the two cops, and then S.H.I.E.L.D., Ward is chasing after, says, S.H.I.E.L.D., you don't understand. And then he jumps in the plane, she jumps in the car, the police car, to take off, and then all of a sudden you see Deathlock at the end of the, and he jumps up, and I guess they did that, to be a kind of homage to the Winter Soldier, and he leaps, and jumps on the car and punches it through the window and grabs S.H.I.E.L.D., and then after the commercial, you see they're on the plane, and basically Deathlock is telling Ward that Garrett sent him as backup because he didn't trust his feelings around he didn't trust Ward with his feelings around S.H.I.E.L.D. Okay, and he said, listen, I can handle it, and then of course S.H.I.E.L.D. is basically, now, to be honest, he says, what a disgusting piece of crap you are, basically writing him off, okay, and yelling at him, and then we see they go a quick scene of Agent May. She has a flash drive, and it has the Tahiti file on it. Okay, and then they jump back to the plane again, and it looks like Ward is basically trying to tell her something, trying to tell her something that she doesn't understand how, and then later you see Deathlock gets a message that say, time for Plan B, and then he comes into the plane, and basically he comes into the part where Ward and S.H.I.E.L.D. are, and S.H.I.E.L.D. is trying to appeal to him, saying, you have a son, I know you're a good guy, you could have shot me, but you didn't. And he said, listen, Hydra, I gave my son to you. Okay, now where is he now? She said, which are guarded by, S.H.I.E.L.D. agents who got infiltrated by Hydra. So he said, listen, I have a bomb in my head, and they could turn the switch any time. Okay, so he said no, and then she said, well, I know you don't kill me. He said, you know what, I'm not going to kill you. And then he throws like a little metal piece on Ward and basically cranks it up. She said, listen, I stopped his heart with this, and I can start it again, but you have to tell us, give us the encryption thing. What's the key to encrypting that? And then, Ward is gasping for breath, his heart basically stopped. And then he said, listen, I can start it again. And then she relents, and then he starts his heart up again. Okay, and she gives him the key to do it. I think she says they have to be at 30,000 feet. And then she basically gives them what they want. She encrypts the thing for them. Meanwhile, they're getting ready to take off in the plane, and then of course, Agent Maria Hill and Triplet are there, and they're talking to oh yeah, wait a minute, back up a little bit. After after Deathlock restarts Ward's heart, Ward is pissed off and saying, "You do that again, I'll kill you." He said, "Yeah, sure. You're sure you're coming." Okay, start the plane. We got to take off. Okay, he goes to take off in the plane, and then of course you see Triplet and Maria Hill in another plane, and basically they're trying to talk them down, said, "Give it up or we'll rain down F-16s on you," and Ward's not buying it. He said, "Listen, if you could do that, you wouldn't be talking to me right now. Okay, so you're gonna stand down." Okay, and basically, you find out that was just a stalling tactic to get Coulson to get on the bus, and which he does, and then he gets on the plane, and of course he goes after his #1 student, Sky, who's basically in the lockup. He grabs her, and they head out, and then she says, how did you get past Deathlock?" She said, "What?" He said, "Deathlock's on the plane?" And then of course Deathlock starts shooting at them. Of course he misses totally, and they get in Lola and take off, and then see Deathlock shoots a rocket at him and totally misses. Okay, and of course after a few heavy moments with Sky, where he told her to buckle up. Of course she doesn't buckle up, but she almost flies out of the plane, and Lola kind of almost crash lands, and then it kind of lands and totally crushes its wheels. Okay, and then they're safe, and then a little comic relief where the ballet comes and asks him for $20. Okay, I like Sky's hair in that scene. It looked totally crazy, and I like the look on her face. Okay, and anyway, so now we don't see. We assume Ward and Garrett, I mean not Ward, Ward and Deathlock are still on the bus flying to wherever they're going to fly. Okay, so now we're back in the hotel with everybody, and Fitz and Simmons are sitting there in the pool. A little cute thing. And it looks like Fitz is just, he even tells Simmons to tell her that, he asked her to tell him that she's not Hydra. He said, "I just want to hear it. This is a believe it. And you can tell he's getting close. And I don't know if they're gonna put those two cute kids together, but they may. But Fitz has to stop being a dick to Triplet. He really does. Okay. Anyway, so basically Sky and then they're sitting down there, and he said, "Listen, we're gonna get our plane back, and we're gonna find them." And Maria Hill basically tells him, to give it up, but she, he said he can't do that. He's gonna do what he's gonna do, Coulson. So she takes off, and then of course you see Agent May comes back, okay, at the end, and she tells him, she said, "I found something," and he basically said, "I was hoping you came back." Coulson tells her, "I hope you were coming back," and she says, "I found out who was behind Project Tahiti," and she puts in the drive, and lets Coulson plays it, and then Coulson finds out that he was in charge of Project Tahiti, and he was explaining, like in a message to Fury, about how they should disable the Project Tahiti because it doesn't work, and the different side effects to it and stuff. And of course, Coulson has a big oops look on his face, and then it goes off. But I have to say, this episode was pretty good. I liked it, all things considered. Okay, and I think it was, like I said, it's getting better. And I saw the preview for next week, and I guess they're going to go into a little backstory of Ward and Garrett and their relationship. I guess to tell them how they got there. And like I said, I didn't say this before, but in the episode, Ward was kind of explaining to, or at least he attempted to explain to this guy how much he owes Garrett, I guess. And I guess next week you'll find out how much he owes Garrett, about how Garrett probably saved him and stuff. And so I guess that's what it's going to be. He's going to explain it and stuff. So I think it should be good. It should be good. So I'll watch that and see how that plays out. Yeah, but like I said, this episode getting good. I'm going to give this episode a 7.5. Okay, 7.5. Almost an 8, but a 7.5. I'm downgraded a little bit because Fitz is still being a dick to a Triplet for no reason, acting like a jealous fool, and where I don't see where Simmons is even, paying that much attention to him. But he's just acting extremely jealous for. Okay, but anyway, just tell her that you like her. Fitz, break down and tell Simmons that you like her. Be a man, step up. Okay, but anyway, but like I said, it's getting a lot better. I think there's 2 more episodes left, so I think next episode will be like a little backstory on Ward and Garrett and their relationship, and then of course the season finale. Okay, where I think you'll probably have Deathlock. Hope Deathlock will show up again more. Okay, and we'll see what goes. But like I said, it's getting a lot better. It's gotten a lot better. I think the Captain America movie was the best thing to happen to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Anyway, let me know what you think of episode 20. Feel free to leave comments down below. This is trepacer saying so long and take care.